hold on Friday.
And the rest of the week could be in
Down to
Aruba?
close this deal for 3 years. They wouldn't do it because they wanted to extract a little bit more, a little bit more.
Montreal's nice this time of year.
You know, because as long as Oman was in the picture, there was a chance they were going to extract a better deal. And Lamont did, and they had to end it. Yep. Is it time? Thank you. Good evening, all. I'd like to welcome you to the Village Council meeting of Monday, September 24th, 2018. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Present.
Present.
Yep.
Here, thank you. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have in your packets this evening, council members, a draft of the minutes from our previous meeting on September 10th. I would seek a motion to approve at this time.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine or have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Commissioners and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item A, to approve payment of invoices on the warrant list dated September 24th, 2018, in the amount of $140,047.15. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Any items of old business to be brought before the council at this time? Information, updates, Public Works and Streets, Recreation Report, Commissioner Milovich Walters.
Mayor Mahoney, I do not have anything on the agenda, just some announcements. First, we have our street resurfacing project, which will begin this Thursday, September 27th. It is in the area of 125th, 126th, 82nd, and 83rd Avenues. From there, the project will move east to west. Other streets included in this year's project are 121st from 86th to 88th, 125th and 90th, Rosewood, 91st from 123rd to Forest Glen, 93rd from 121st to 123rd, Post and Rail from 123rd to the South Cul-de-sac, and a section of Romega and Wildwood. Please take caution when traveling the construction zone to avoid workers and avoid damage to your vehicle. Please check with our website under the Public Works Department for any updates. Also, the week of October 8th is the next chipper service. Chipper crew will start on the west side of the village and work to the east until all public streets have been serviced. And a reminder, the final chipping service will start November 5th. Also, a new addition to the website, if you click on departments and then Public Works, there is a link to click for garbage recycling days. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but I can never remember, since it's every other week. Did I put out recycling last week? Did I forget? Is it this week? So they've spelled it out on the website, depending on your date and what's, if you live east or west of 86th Avenue, it's based on that, but it tells you specifically which days for the rest of the year are your recycling days. So that's everything I have, and I think I'll reserve talking about in the park until your time. And
Okay.
we can talk about it then.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Thank you. Building and Public Property Report, Commissioner Reed.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. As the leaves change and the days get shorter, take the time this autumn to prepare for the oncoming cold weather. Change your furnace filters, replace batteries in your smoke detectors, inspect and clean gutters, schedule a chimney sweep, test emergency backup generator, rake your leaves and disconnect your garden hoses from the spigot. The building department processed 16 permits from September 5 through 18, resulting in $8,862.55 of permit fees. 21 inspections were completed through the aforementioned time period. I also have another matter for your consideration this evening, to adopt an ordinance approving a plat of consolidation for 12600 South 83rd Avenue. The owners of the aforementioned property have purchased an adjoining vacant parcel of land on West 126th and would like to consolidate the two parcels into one lot of record. The original parcel, parcel 2, contains 33,847 square feet of land, and the newly purchased parcel, designated parcel 1, contains 25,470 square feet. Once consolidated, the new lot of record will contain a total of 59,318 square feet of land and will meet all lot area requirements of the zoning ordinance. Because the proposed lot of record fully meets the requirements of the zoning ordinance, Plan Commission review is not required for the plat of consolidation. Staff has reviewed the matter and recommends approval of the proposed plat of consolidation. Before making a motion for such, I would ask if anyone here on the dais has any questions or concerns they'd like to express at this time.
This is what we ask folks to do, is to have a conforming lot. So they're consolidating so that they have a conforming lot.
That's it. Okay, based on the lack of any responses to the negative, I move to approve the ordinance approving a plat of consolidation for 12600 South 83rd Avenue and would seek a second.
Second.
And are we passing this in ordinance form? Does that need to
It
be?
is an ordinance, and that's what the agenda provides.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second.
Yes.
Any further questions? If not, I seek, or ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yes.
Commissioner Palos?
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes.
Madam Director, do you have anything to add?
That's nothing.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Public health and safety. Commissioner Polk, what have you this evening?
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. We'll start with the activity report from 10 September to 23 September, the year of our Lord 2018. We had 1,277 calls for service, wrote 50 adjudication tickets as well as 16 additional traffic tickets, 31 written warnings, 17 verbal warnings, took an additional 18 case reports, arrested 4 adults, fortunately no juveniles, impounded 2 vehicles, performed 15 senior checks, an additional 33 citizen assists, and 29 community contact hours. So that's what the Palos Park Police Department's been up to for the last couple of weeks. And then a couple of quick reminders. It's that time of the year. The deer are out doing what deer do, and we pray that you don't encounter one as you're bombing up Willow Springs Road, particularly in the whoop-de-doos before you get to Archer, even though that's not Palos Park. So we have a couple of thoughts. Deer are generally pretty unpredictable. Don't expect them to stay where they are. So you see one on the side of the road, it looks like, Bambi's grazing there by the grass. And as you start to drive by, Bambi decides this would be a great time to cross the road. So I suggest that we slow down, particularly when we see an animal. They typically don't come in singles. They are herd animals. They tend to travel in groups. So you see 1 or 2 cross the road in front of you, take a deep breath, slow down, because there's likely to be a second or a third or a fifth or a 12th. Always wear your safety belt. That's good advice under any situation. But historically, most people who are injured or killed in a deer or auto collision are not properly restrained. That's probably true with most crashes. So again, Another thing we talk a little bit about is what's the leading cause of injury in a deer auto collision? It isn't the collision with the deer. It's the fact that people try to evade the deer and drive off the road and hit something much harder and immobile than the deer, like a tree or a wall or a big post. So again, while it seems like the humane thing to do, if you got a choice, don't veer off the road. That's the best I'll go. Even when an auto hits the deer, it may cause extensive damage to the vehicle, but generally the occupants are safe. The same is not true when you veer out of your lane into oncoming traffic and hit another car head on. So these are some thoughts. You can use the internet as you so choose. We have never seen a device affixed to a car that will enable the deer to understand that it's not time to cross the road. That's all I got to say about that. But generally, deer are pretty non-reflective, so a crash can occur at any time, but the major times are generally dawn, just before and just after sunrise, and dusk, just before and just after sunset. So it's that time of the year. Your favorite deer spot's generally known to most of the people in Palos Park. And then a quick announcement, the Palos Park Police Department will provide residents or gun owners with children in Palos Park free gun locks and gun safety literature as part of Project Child Safe. Child Safe is a nationwide program whose purpose it is to promote safe firearm handling. It's supported by the United States Department of Justice. We have 200 gun safety kits through Project Child Safe, and they'll be available to any village resident or gun owners within the Palos area. So again, come by, normal business hours, Monday through Friday. Stop by at the police front desk at the Capture Center and tell them you want a Project Child Safe gun safety package, and we will be glad to oblige you. Chief Miller, do you have anything else you would like to add?
Nothing, Commissioner.
Thank you. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you kindly. Accounts and Finances, Commissioner Pavlanas.
Thank you, Mayor. I actually have no announcements.
Excellent. My report, I thought I would just mention that we had a highly successful Autumn in the Park. I want to thank all of our sponsors. I also want to thank our village staff who worked tremendously hard for a small staff, the amount of things they do and the amount of time they spend, you know, in the weeks and months preparing, but those last few days, it's a draining experience, and residents really appreciate it because it's a really nice time. And we had perfect weather this year. The music was great, the food was great, the drink was great. It was really a fabulous time.
I'll echo and everything you just said. Again, thank you to the staff and all the sponsors, but the staff really went above and beyond. I mean, the decor, the way they decorated, just that was great. And the music that the bands that we selected brought out a lot of people. They seemed to really be enjoying themselves. And yeah, just all the food, the barbecue cooks. That was great turnout there, and it seemed like everyone was loving getting to sample all the ribs and having a great time. So I just can't say enough positive things other than to remind everyone it's only like less than a month until our Halloween party, and then the next month, and then 4 more weeks, and it's the winter holiday party. I mean, we've just got so many events, trying to fit a special event every month for our residents.
A few more months after that, we'll be
Chili
at
in the
chili.
Park. Chili in the Park in February. So, I mean, we're always putting out events, and so hopefully residents can bring their friends and come and enjoy those things that our staff is putting together.
I hope you had fun. I sure did, and I'm looking forward to the next event. And that concludes my report. Clerk Eric Only.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple of announcements. The Palos Park Senior Club will meet on Monday, October 8th in the Recreation Center. For lunch reservations, you can call me at 708-480-4103. by Secretary of State will be at the Palos Park Village Hall on Friday, October 12th, from 10 to 2. The following services will be provided: driver's license renewal, state ID card, vision screening with driver's license renewal, and vehicle sticker sales for license plates. Any Illinois residents can attend. Driver's licenses can be renewed up to 1 year in advance. Anyone over the age of 75 is required to take the road test when renewing their driver's license. That cannot be done at Palos Park. For more information, call 708-671-3706. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. And I realize that we skipped over the purchase of the two police vehicles, so I'll let Commissioner Polk have a second bite at the apple.
Sorry.
As,
Guilty as charged. I expect to be locked up after the meeting. So I wanted to bring forth to the council a request for approval to seek pricing for 2 additional 2019 Explorer police vehicles. So in the next year, the village should be rotating out more of our patrol fleet vehicles rather than replace them in one large group. We've been trying to rotate out vehicles each year or every second year. We have already approved a 2019 Ford Explorer a couple of months ago, and we're still awaiting delivery for it this fall, which frightens us a little bit because it's taken months to get this vehicle up and out. We still don't have possession of it. So what we'd like to do now is to seek authorization to explore cost comparisons of 2 marked 2019 patrol units, color specific. We bring that up because we've had trouble just finding a silver one, which seems odd. Right? That's the way it is. So we have funding in the asset forfeiture account, and we would come back to seek the council's approval for a budget amendment once we have the pricing. The vehicles that we're replacing are greater than 5 years old, with mileage ranging in excess of 100,000 miles. So again, I'm seeking authorization to explore costs and pricing for 2 additional 2019 Ford Explorer police units. And we'll come back to the council once we have some prices and sources in mind and go through approval with funding.
so we're seeking a motion?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it, and you want the Public Works Department to check on those for you, all right?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Polk.
Yes.
Commissioner Milovich-Walters.
Yes.
Commissioner Reed.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I apologize.
No apology needed.
Fair enough.
Manager Boehm is absent this evening. Do we have any report in his absence? No?
Come on,
Okay.
Tom, make something up.
So I do have one quick announcement here. There will be a zoning board of appeals meeting on Wednesday, October 10th, 2018 at 7:30 PM in the Captor Administrative Center to hear the following. An application has been filed requesting variations from the requirements of Chapter 1268.02E, front yards, Chapter 1268.02F, side yards, and Chapter 1268.02G, rear yards of the Village Code to permit alterations to an existing non-conforming single-family residence, including the construction of a second-story addition to the main building and an increase in the height of the existing structure. Where the required front yard setback is 100 feet, the applicant is requesting a front yard setback of 96 feet. Where the required side yard setback is 16.125 feet, the applicant is requesting 14.583 foot setback from the side lot line. Where the required rear setback is 50 feet, the applicant is requesting a 38.67 foot setback at the property commonly known as 34 North Woodlands Street in Palos Park, Illinois. That concludes my announcements. Citizens and visitors comment period. Anyone from the audience like to address the council at this time? Hearing no such requests, I would seek a motion to adjourn at this time.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all and good evening.
Be safe, watch out for the deer.
What are the chances